The time is 1:15. Here's the news, edited by Catherine Pereira, read by Victor Raj. First, take a look at the headlines of the local news. Sri Lanka opposes the proposal submitted against Sri Lanka at the Geneva Human Rights Council. The government is bound to promote human rights in the country. The COPE committee will meet tomorrow. Nearly 140,000 houses will be constructed by the year 2025. It has been expressed that the authorities have not taken any action against ragging in universities. Prices of gas cylinders further reduced. South Korea and US fire missiles into sea in response to North Korea. Local news in detail. Minister Ali Sabri says that the government has opposed to relevant facts that has submitted against Sri Lanka at the proposals of Human Rights Council. He also said that the friendly countries of Sri Lanka have been acknowledged in this regard. The proposals made by some countries against Sri Lanka cannot be agreed. The stability of the country and the identification cannot be destroyed and betrayed. Although the attempts have been made to ensure the accusation presented against the country through a local mechanism, they were not satisfied. Minister Ali Sabri also stated that necessary measures will be taken to safeguard the stability, sovereignty and the constitution of the country. Leader of the House, Minister Susir Premjayantha says that the government will be safeguarding the freedom of thinking, expression and assembly. The government is bound to promote human rights in the country. The government is acting to bring Counter-Terrorism Act instead of Terrorism Prevention Act. The draft bill in this regard is being prepared. The opposition leader said that he condemned the student repression and violent activities. In reply, Minister Susir Premjayantha said that there is a system to maintain the discipline in universities and it should be safeguarded. He also stated that the government will take the legal action against the incident of Peradeniya University. Legal action is being carried out. Explaining views, State Minister Santha Bandar said that the government should take measures for the security of university students. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news, Secretary to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development P.H.C. Ratnayaka says that the target is to construct 140,166 houses by the year 2025. Participating at a discussion held at the Information Department, he said that the project to construct 10,000 houses for estate sector are being carried out under the Indian Credit Line from this year. 260 projects are to be implemented this year by expending 3.264 million rupees within this year. A project is also being implemented to sell houses for Sri Lankan migrant workers through dollars. Local and foreign persons can purchase these houses. 25% of the amount should be paid at the beginning and the rest can be paid by installments. 10% discount will also be provided for local customers. A widespread propaganda campaign will be worked out through media in this program. The COPE committee will meet tomorrow morning at the parliamentary complex for the first time to elect a chairman for the committee. Speaker Mahinda Abhivadan said in Parliament today that the parliamentarian M. Rameshwaran and Champika Ranavaka will be appointed as the members of the COPE committee. Chief Whip of the government, Minister Prasanna Ranatanga, said that the parliamentarian Kabir Hazim will be appointed as the chairman of the COPE committee under the advice of the President and Prime Minister. Dr. Prapat Ekanaik of the Peradine University said that ragging in universities have been increased positively due to authorities for not taking action against ragging in universities. It is necessary to implement a proper program and implement rules and regulations on ragging. He made these remarks participating in the Dasadazin Hatha program of the SLBC on the incident of the Peradine University which occurred recently. A group of students also threatened him. They also accused that they chased away the former president of the country, and it is an easy task for them to chase a dean of a faculty. This situation has been aggravated due to the unruly behavior of some students who are following the policies of some politicians and political parties. Litro Gas Lanka Limited, one of the primary suppliers of the domestic LP gas in the country, will reduce the price of domestic LP gas cylinders with effect from midnight today. Accordingly, the price of a 12.5 kg cylinder will be slashed by 271 rupees, a 5 kg cylinder by 107 rupees, and a 2.3 kg cylinder by 48 rupees. The decision has been reached after taking into account the price drop in the world market. Reverse prices are as follows: 12.5 kg cylinder 4,280 rupees, 5 kg cylinder 1,720 rupees, and 2.3 kg cylinder 800 rupees. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Wildlife and Forest Resources Conservation Minister said that the National Zoological Garden in Dehiwala recorded the highest income on World Children's Day, which fell on October 1st. They said the total income earned by the Dehiwala Zoo on that day was 508,377 rupees. The management of Zoological Department informed Minister Mahinda Amaravira about this yesterday, claiming that all other zoos were also able to notch a record income on the World Children's Day. Accordingly, the Pinnacle Elephant Sanctuary netted 947,000 rupees, the Pinnacle Zoo with 949,200 rupees, and Ridiyagama Safari Park earned 856,000 rupees. Minister Amaravira also advised taking measures to prepare creative programs to attract people to zoos during special and commemorative days in the future. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the residents in the Tihagoda area say that the Malimbad main road is at severely dilapidated condition. They also pointed out that the road was not renovated from a long time. This has obstructed the transportation activities in the area. People are facing many hardships due to this reason. They request the relevant authorities to take speedy measures to renovate this road. That ends Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. South Korea and US fire missiles into sea in response to North Korea. The Dussehra 2022 celebrations take over India Straits. Liz Truss facing pressure to ensure benefits rise in line with inflation. World News in detail. South Korea and US military have fired a volley of missiles into the sea, Seoul says, in response to North Korea's launch of the missile over Japan. The missiles were fired into East Sea, also known as the Sea of Japan, between the Korean Peninsula and Japan. Pyongyang fired a ballistic missile yesterday, sending it over Japan for the first time since 2017. In response, the US, Japan and South Korea have been conducting military drills in the show of force. Millions of Indians are celebrating Dussehra, an important Hindu festival, as fears about the COVID-19 pandemic have subsided. For the first 2 years, celebrations were either muted or altogether cancelled. Dussehra is celebrated on the 10th day of the 7th month of the lunar calendar, which roughly falls between the month of September and October. The festival celebrates the Hindu god Ram's vanquishing of the 10-headed demon King Ravan and symbolizes the triumph of God over evil. Dussehra is being celebrated throughout the India with different rules and activities. Liz Truss is coming under pressure from Tory MPs to ensure benefits rise in line with prices, with Minister Penny Mordaunt arguing it makes sense. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged benefits would rise with inflation. Ms. Truss has refused to say that she would maintain the commitment as she faces questions over how to pay for government's tax-cutting plans. The Prime Minister told the BBC's decision hadn't yet been made as the issue dominant Tory party conference in Birmingham. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. South Korea and US fire missiles into sea in response to North Korea. Dussehra 2022 celebrations take place across India streets. Liz Truss facing pressures to ensure benefit rise in line with inflation. With that, we wrap up the world news on Radio Sri Lanka.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Listening, the trusted leader.
Moving on to development news, a program will be implemented to propagate cultural heritage inherited to the southern province among the tourists. A special project was commenced by the Rohunu Tourist Bureau in this regard. The Bureau will be provided the necessary infrastructure facilities for the development of tourist attraction. The aim of this move is to enhance the tourism industry in the country. That ends development news.
Sports News is brought to you by... With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
2023 Women's World Championship Cricket Tournament will be held on the 10th of February next year. The inaugural match between the South Africa and Sri Lanka is to be held in Cape Town. The final match of the tournament will be played on 26th of February. Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa and Bangladesh will play under Group A, while England, India, West Indies, Pakistan and Ireland will play under Group B. Indian women cricket team is leading at the point table of the Asian Championship Cricket Tournament by receiving 6 marks. The team won the 3 matches they participated. Pakistan women team is in second place by winning 2 matches, while Sri Lanka women team has become the third place by receiving 4 marks. That ends the sports news.
A special interest rate of 15% on savings certificates opened in October. Prarthana for children, Prarthana Plus for adults. NSB Prarthana, your dreams realized.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In conjunction with the 83rd anniversary, Bank of Ceylon recently inaugurated a rural development initiative under the auspices of the bank's chairman Kanchana Ratwate and general manager KED Sumanasari and the support of the Polonnaruwa district secretary W.A. Dharmasari with the other key officials of the bank participating. The initiative, which is named BOC Gamman, a program commenced with the Tissa Amuna is a village located in Medirigiri area in Polonnaruwa district as the first village to be taken up. That ends business news.
Business News, sponsored by
When I grow up, I'll fly to the moon somehow.
Envision your future now. NSB Prarthana will show you the path to your dreams. This Thrift Month, open a savings certificate. It's a long-term investment on your future with great returns. A special interest rate of 15% on savings certificates opened in October. Prarthana for children. Prarthana Plus for adults. NSB Prarthana. Your dreams realized.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The government has initiated a program to provide vocational technical training courses for the persons who are engaged in fisheries sector free of charge. The courses will be conducted by the National Apprenticeship Board, Technical Training Authority and the Ministry of Fisheries. The aim of this program is to enhance the ornamental fish and freshwater fishing industry. That ends economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Finally, let's take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says that a temporary reduction in the prevailing heavy rainy condition is expected today and in the next few days. Several spells of showers will occur in western, sub-Ragama and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Cole and Matha districts. Showers of thundershowers will occur at several places in Uva, eastern and northern provinces during the evening or night. That ends the weather report. To wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Sri Lanka opposes the proposals submitted against Sri Lanka at the Geneva Human Rights Council. The government is bound to promote human rights in the country. The COPE committee will meet tomorrow. Nearly 140,000 houses will be constructed by the year 2025. It has been expressed that the authorities have not taken any action against ragging in universities. Prices of gas cylinders further reduced. South Korea had used 5 missiles into sea in response to North Korea. That ends the afternoon news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.